Everyone, this is our lecture number 38. In this lecture, we discuss one problem based on the one-way simply supported slab. But before that, we study how we transfer the load slab to beam, means the load transfer to slab to beam. So this load transfer to slab to beam is depends on types of beam, means if your beam is simply supported or one way slab or cantilever slab or two way slab. So our topic is one way simply supported slab. So here I discuss the how we transfer how slab transfer the load to beam in one way simply supported beam. If you see that this is our slab, continuous slab, and here we have column, and this is our beam. And you know that in one way case we already know that this part is Lx and this part is Ly, and in one way slab we provide main reinforcement along the shorter span. Here shorter span is Lx, so main reinforcement is provided along the shorter span. Okay, so the area of slab transferring the load to the beam in this condition, if you say this is B1, this is B2, B3, B4, B5 and B6. B means beam 1, beam 2, beam 3, beam 4, beam 5 and beam 6. So in this condition, if this slab transfer the load to this beam B1, so we know that in a slab UDL is applied. Okay, so UDL is the uniformly distributed load, and we have to find the force at the support because load transfer to the beam. So we have find the load on the beam. So load on the beam is WLX1 by 2. We know already that shear force in case of UDL is WL by 2. So here we take WLX1 because this is LX1, this is LX2, LX3, LX4, LX5. This is our shorter span. So load on beam B1. Same if we have load on beam B2. Now in case of B2 we have two beams, one here and one here. In B2 case we have two beams, one from that side and one from that side. In this case only here we have. Same in case of B3, in case of B4, in case of B5, and here is the B6. Okay, so in that condition we have two beams, means they transfer the load in two ways. So here we say B2 is equal to W dot Lx1 by 2 plus Lx2 by 2, Lx1 by 2 plus Lx2 by 2. If I say this is Lx2 and here Lx1, and this is the sandwich between this Lx1 and Lx2, that's why here we take half of Lx1 and half of Lx2, and this we take if span on either side of beam are unequal. This is the condition when span on either side of beam are unequal. If span is equal, so in that case what you have to do, simply you take load on beam B2 is equal to W dot Lx by 2 plus Lx by 2 or W dot Lx. If span on either side is equal. Okay, so in this way slab transfer the load to the beam. Now we take one problem and design the one-way slab, and for that we have used the design consideration which we studied in our previous lecture. So problem is, we have to take problem, and the problem is design the slab for the room for office building 3.2 into 9.2 meter. The slab is resting on 300 mm thick wall and resisting live load of 2.5 kilonewton per meter square. Use M20 and Fe415 steel. Check the slab for control of deflection and cracking. Show reinforcement details. So this is our question. Design the slab for the room for office building 3.2 into 9.2 meter. The slab is resting on 300 mm thick wall and resisting live load of 2.5 kilonewton per meter square. Use M20 and Fe415 steel. Check the slab for control of deflection and cracking. Show reinforcement details. So in this question we have given only the room dimension and thickness of wall on which slab is supported, live load, grade of concrete and grade of steel. So with the help of these values we have to design the slab. So let's start to design the slab. So for that we have used our design consideration steps. In our design consideration steps, first we have to find the effective depth. But before that we have to find this slab is one-way slab or two-way slab. That thing we don't know right now. Okay, so for finding that, what we have to do, we have to find the aspect ratio, means Ly by Lx, and see if Ly by Lx is greater than equal to 2, then this slab is one way slab, and if Ly by Lx is less than 2, then this one is the two way slab. So here what we have to do, we assume 3.2 meter into 9.2 meter as a clear dimension. Clear dimension means, I show you in diagram. If this is our slab, this is our slab, so from this point to this point we say clear dimension, because this dimension is seen by our naked eyes, and here we provided beam, so that parts we not seen, that's why we called as clear dimension. So in our example we assume we have given 3.2 meter into 9.2 meter is the clear dimension, and we have given FCK is equal to 20 Newton per mm square and Fy is equal to 415 Newton per mm square. Okay, now we have given Ly is 9.2 and Lx is 3.2. So Ly by Lx is equal to 9.2 divided by 3.2. So here we get 2.875, which is greater than 2. That means we have designed the slab as one way simply supported slab. Okay, so this aspect ratio is clear that we have to design the slab as the one way simply supported slab. Now we start our steps. So our first step is we have to find the effective depth. So for finding the effective depth, what we have to do, we have to take L by D ratio. So for that we have consider shorter span as L. Okay, so here we have shorter span, so L is equal to 3.2 meter, and here we convert in mm, that's why here we write 3200 mm. Okay, so we have to take L by D ratio. So L by D ratio for simply supported case is 20, and we have to multiply with this modification factor. This part we already discussed in our previous lecture, and this is given in IS 456 2000 page number 37 and 38. Now for finding the modification factor, we need a percentage of steel, but here we not given percentage of steel. So in previous lecture we see that we have to assume, if we have not given the percentage of steel, so we have assumed from 0.3 to 0.6%, means between 0.3 to 0.6 or 0.3 or 0.6. So here we assume percentage of steel is 0.6% of steel. Okay, now with the help of figure, means we have given 415 Newton per mm square, and Fs we already know. In case of 415, Fs is equal to 240 Newton per mm square. So with this value and with this value we find the modification factor. So when we go through IS code from IS 456 2000 figure number 4, we have to see, then from that we have find that modification factor is equal to 1.15. Okay, so our modification factor is 1.15. If you facing problem getting the modification factor with the help of figure, because many of us are unable to read the figures, or maybe our value is vary with other people, so we think that our solution is wrong. So in that case I write here one formula for finding the modification factor. Okay, so here our modification factor is 1.15, but if you are not getting the value with the help of this figure, what you have to do, you have used this formula and find the modification factor. For modification factor we have one formula, 1 divided by 1 plus 0.625 log 10 pt, and this formula is for M20 and Fe415. okay, if you have given M20 and Fe415 then you have used this formula. So 1 upon 1 plus 0.625 log 10 pt, 1 divided by 1 plus 0.625 log 10, here pt we assume 0.6. so after solving this equation we get 1.16 as a modification factor, and in our previous part we get 1.15. so here we use modification factor is 1.15 because that we take directly from our figure. okay, so L by D ratio is equal to 20. L by D ratio is equal to 20 into modification factor. So L by D is equal to 20 into 1.15. So D is equal to L. L is the divided by 20 into 1.15. Here we get D is equal to 139.13 mm. So we have to modify, we have to take 150 mm because here we have to assume all things. So here we find small d is 139.13 mm, but for solving we here take 150 because if you get value in 0 in numbers, means last digit is 0, then you have to calculate easily. Otherwise you, after solving this equation, you get a big values and you have not calculate. For that you required KLC, but that value you also calculate manually. okay, so here our small d is equal to 150. Now here we assume main bar is 10 mm in dia. Here we assume main bar is 10 mm in dia because we have to find the overall depth also. So capital D is equal to 150 plus 5 by 2. 5 here we assume 10, so 10 by 2, and here we assume nominal cover is 20. So after solving this, here we get 175 mm, means overall depth is 175 mm. If we assume main bar is as a 10 mm dia and nominal cover or a clear cover is the 20 mm. So small d is 150 and overall depth is the 175 mm. So this is our first step, effective depth is over. Now we have to find the effective span. Our second step is effective span. Step number B, effective span. For effective span we have two conditions. One is L plus D and second is center to center of support. We have two conditions. First, L plus D means L is clear span. L is clear span plus D, and second one is the center to center of support. Okay, so first we take clear span plus D. So clear span is 3200 plus small d we find here is 150. So here we get 3350 mm. 3350 mm. Now we have find center to center of supports. If this is our slab, and this slab is supported on this wall, and this wall thickness is 300 mm, and this wall thickness is 300 mm, and we have clear span is 3200 mm. So center to center of support means from this point to this point, from this point to this point. So here we take 150 from that side and 150 from that side. So 150 plus 150 plus 3200, 3200 plus 150 plus 150. So here we get 3500 mm. Now we have to take whichever is smaller, whichever is smaller. So smaller one is this 3350, means effective span is 3350 mm, or L is equal to 3.35 meter. So this is our effective span. Okay. Now after finding the effective span, we have to find the load. We have to find the load. So our third step is load calculation. Load calculation. Step number 3, C, load calculation. So for load calculation, we have given live load. So we have to find the self weight. Okay. After finding the self weight, we have to add up this live load and find the actual load or total load. So first we have to find the dead load or self weight load of slab. So dead load of slab is 1, because we are taking 1 meter width, that's why here we take 1, and capital D is 175 mm, so here we take 0.75 into 25. You know density of concrete, so after multiplication this you get 4.375 kilonewton meter. Now when we provide the slab, there is a floor finish also there, so we have to find for floor finish also, floor finish. So for floor finish we have take 1 meter, and here we also take density as a 1, or floor finish as a 1 kilonewton per meter square. So here overall value is 1 kilonewton meter. And last we have given live load. Live load is equal to 2.5, so 2.5 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So total load is equal to 7.875 kilonewton meter. But this load is the unfactored load. Now we have to convert this load in the factored form. So factored load is equal to 1.5 into 7.875. So here we get 11.82 kilonewton per meter. Means this is the UDL or total load, 11.82 kilonewton per meter. So this is the way we have to find the load. After finding the load, we have to find the bending moment, because we have to design the slab, and for that we require the reinforcement. So for finding the reinforcement, we need a moment or bending moment. So here we find load, now we have to find the bending moment. So our our step number 4, in which we have find the bending moment. So we know that in case of UDL, maximum bending moment is equal to WL square by 8, and here we find W is equal to 11.82 and L square is 3.35. effective span, we already find that. So 3.35 square divided by 8, so here we get 16.58 kilonewton meter. 16.58 kilonewton meter. This is factored load, this is effective span. So from that we get the 16.58 kilonewton meter as a bending moment. Okay, now step number third, what we have to do, we have to check the effective depth, because in first criteria we assume the depth, means we have to take the assumption for finding the depth in our first step, but here we have some values. With the help of that value we find the depth and differentiate with our first value that it's okay or not. Okay, so for that you have to find the effective depth, and we know that mu limit is equal to 0.138 FCK BD square for Fe415. So mu we find here 16.58 into 10 raised to the power 6, 0.138 into 20 into 1. Here we have d square, or here we 1 in meter, so here we write 1000, because here we take all equation in mm, so here we write 1000. Now we have find d. So after solving this equation we get 77.50 mm as a effective depth, and we have provided 150 mm depth. In previous steps we have find that small d is equal to 150, then it is safe. Okay, this is the required depth, this is the required depth, and this one is the provided depth. Always required depth is less than provided depth. If required depth is less than provided depth, then your calculation is safe. If you get required depth is greater than provided depth, then you have to redesign the all steps, means you have to redesign the dimensions. Okay, so here we find required depth is less than provided depth, that means it is okay. Now we have find the main reinforcement and distribution reinforcement. Okay, so for finding the main reinforcement and distribution reinforcement, we have one formula which we call PT limit formula. With the help of this formula we directly find the AST. So formula is 50 FCK upon Fy 1 minus root 1 minus 4.6 mu upon FCK BD square. 50 FCK upon Fy big bracket 1 minus root 1 minus 4.6 mu upon FCK BD square. Okay, so 50 into 20 into 415 1 minus 4.6 into mu is 16.58 into 10 raised to the power 6 divided by 20 into 1000 into d square, means 150 square. So from here you get PT limit is equal to 0.215%. 0.215%, and we know that PT is equal to, we know that here we find PT limit is the 0.215, and we know that PT is equal to 100 AST upon BD. So 100 into AST divided by 1000 into 150, here we have 0.215. So AST is equal to, after solving this you get 322.5 mm square. 322.5 mm square. So this is the method how we find the area of steel. After finding the area of steel, we have to find the spacing, because we have provided reinforcement at a particular spacing. So for that we required spacing also. So for finding the spacing, we have one formula which we write in this form. Spacing is equal to AST divided by capital AST into 1000. Okay, this AST is the single bar area. This is total AST, total area of steel. Okay, so single bar area, here we already assume 10 mm bars. So for we have to find the single bar area. Small AST is equal to pi by 4 into d square. So pi by 4 into 10 square is equal to, here we get 78.53 mm. This is the single bar area, and this we assume in our previous stage that main bar is a 10 mm in dia, and total AST we get 78.53 divided by total AST we get 322.5, and here we have to multiply with the 1000. So here we get spacing is equal to 243.50 mm. 243.50 mm. So we say that 240 mm. 240 mm. So if here we provided 240 mm, that means our AST is changed, because with the help of this calculation we have find the exact value is 243.50. But what we have do, here we change spacing, here we take 240 instead of 243. Due to this reason our overall AST is also changed. So for finding the overall AST we use same formula and we put spacing value, means here we put 240, here we take 78.53, and here we provide AST into 1000. So with the help of this equation, if we have find the AST, so here we get 327 mm square as a total area of steel. So we write in this way: provide 10 mm bar of 240 mm center to center spacing, and if you mention, then mention total AST is equal to 327 mm square. Okay, so in this way you have to provide 10 mm dia, 240 mm center to center spacing, and AST is the 327, because here we not find away that our number of bars, and you already know that how we find the number of bars. So this is the way how we find the steel for main bars. Now we have requirement of bent up bars or not, that also we have to find. If we provide a bent up bars, we know that we provide the 50% of, if 50% of bars are bent up, then AST available at bottom near support is 327 divided by 2 is equal to 163.5 mm square. If 50% bars are bent up, then AST available at bottom near the support is 163.5 mm square, but AST minimum for 415 Fe 415, we have one formula: 0.12% of cross sectional area or 0.0012 into B into capital D. Okay, so 0.12 divided by 100 or 0.0012, B is 1000 and capital D is 175. So here we get 210 mm square. So here we required minimum reinforcement is 210 mm square. That means bent up bars cannot be provided, or bars, write in this way, bars cannot be bent up. Okay, so this is the main bars. Now we have to find the distribution bars or distribution steel. So let's find distribution steel. Distribution steel, step number G, distribution steel. Same way you have to find the distribution steel, but in this case we have not used that formula. We simply take AST minimum is equal to 0.12 into 100 into 1000 into 175. That means 210 mm square. We have to design distribution steel with the minimum reinforcement criteria also. So here we directly take. So what we do here, we consider or assume 6 mm dia bars. Okay, so small AST is equal to pi by 4 into 6 square is equal to 28.27 mm square. Means this is the total AST and this is, we have considered 6 mm dia bars. So we find the AST 28.27. So spacing is equal to 28.27 divided by 210 into 1000. Here we get 134.63 mm. So same here we take 130 mm. So if we take 130 mm, that means our AST is also changed. So AST is equal to 217 mm square. So this is our spacing and this is our total AST. Write in same manner, provide 6 mm phi or dia bars 130 mm center to center, and in bracket write AST is equal to 217 mm square. Okay, so this is the way how we design the simply supported slab. Now in our question we have given, we have to find some checks also. So let's find that checks. We have given, we have to find the control of deflection and check for cracking. So here we take first check for cracking. Check for cracking. We know that for main bars, for main steel, we have value is 3D and 300. So 3 into 150 and 300. So here 3 into 150 is the 450 mm and maximum is 300. Means here B value is this and A value is this. But for main bar we have find 240 mm as a spacing. That means it is less than 450 or 300 mm. It is safe and okay. Same we have do for distribution steel. For that we have given formula is 5D, or second one is the 450. If we have find 5 into 150, so here we get 750 and B is the 450, but here we provide 130, so it is less than 750 or 450, means it is safe. Okay, so in this way we have to find the check for cracking. Now we have to find the check for deflection. or control of deflection. So check for deflection. Step number I, check for deflection. In check for deflection, we have to find actual L by D is less than allowable L by D. So first we have to take allowable L by D. So allowable L by D is the 20 into modification factor. Okay, now we have find PT. First time we have assumed PT is 0.6%. Now we have all values, so we have to find the PT for main bar. So 100 AST upon BD, 100 into AST is 327 divided by 1000 into 150. Okay, so here we get 0.218%. 0.218%. Okay, and modification factor for that is 1.6 according to figure number 4 given in IS 456/2000. For this value, if we find modification factor, we get 1.6, and we know that Fs is equal to 240. Okay, so from these two values we find the modification factor and we get 1.6. So let's put in formula. So here we get L by D means allowable L by D is 20 into 1.6. So here we get 32, and actual L by D is equal to 20 into 1. Actual L by D is the, we have L by D values. So L here we have 3550 means 3350 divided by small d is 150. So here we get 22.33. 22.33 means 22.33 is less than 32. It's safe because 32 is allowable and this is actual. So our value is less than allowable, that means it is safe. So here check for deflection and check for cracking is seen, and we find that our solution is safe in both condition. Now last we have to draw the detailing diagram of this slab. Okay, and note one thing, in this question we have given only check for cracking and check for deflection. If we have given check for shear and check for development length, then we have to find that crack that checks also. Now design the slab. So in this way you have to draw the detailing diagram of this structure. Okay, this is our slab and this is support which is 300 mm thick. This is our clear span 3200. Okay, this is our overall depth 175. Here we provided reinforcement. This is our main steel and we provided reinforcement in this way because here we not provide bent up bars. So here we provided main reinforcement in this way. This is our main reinforcement. Okay, now here we provided the distribution reinforcement. This is the distribution reinforcement, distribution bars. Okay, and here we take length as 0.15 L, means here we rotate this part up to the 0.15 L. Same from here 0.15 L because we take bent up bars from 0.15 L. So main bar here we provided 10 mm dia and 240 center to center spacing, and distribution bar we provided 6 mm in dia and 130 mm center to center spacing. Okay, this is our wall, and from this point to this point this is our effective depth, which is 150. Okay, so in this way we have done the reinforcement detailing or details. So in this way you have to find the or design the simply supported one way slab. You have to follow the all design consideration steps for design the slab, and in last you have to find the you have to check the values for cracking, deflection, shear reinforcement and development length. If you have given only check for deflection, then you have to find for check for deflection only, and in last you have to show this diagram, which is called reinforcement detail diagram. So this lecture is over, guys. If you have any problem, then comment me in my comment box. Thank you.